Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up to date, we've got a dropshipping business for sale in the apparel and accessories niche. Created in February 2017, this business makes $8,992 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this business is 44892. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about the seller and the sites that they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Martin.
Hello, thank you for having me, Mike.
Yeah, it's great to connect and really, dig into your business. So I'm just going to give a quick summary about Martin's business here. The business was built in February 2017, has a monthly revenue of $50,000 and expenses of $41,515. The net profit is $8,992 with a 12-month average. Included in the sale of the business are the domain and all the site content and files, social media accounts, an email list of approximately 20,000 subscribers, and the inventory is not normally included in the list price. And if you're interested in this, further details can be provided once you've placed a deposit. Now, Martin, can you tell us a little bit about your background in running and building online businesses?
Well, I don't have much of a background because this is actually my first successful business.
Well, so this was the first one. How did you get started?
I got started by saying, what the hell am I going to do so I can continue to travel and make money from my laptop? And I was like, there must be a niche out there. There must be like a way I can do it. And I discovered e-com. And yeah, I decided on this product to start with.
Wow. And so how did you get the idea to sort of start this particular business?
Because I was thinking about this was when you're starting out, you're like, everyone's like, what's popular right now? And I was thinking what's like an evergreen thing that people always need? And as you can hear from my accent, my parents are Scottish. So I travel back to the UK many times and I was like, what do people in the UK really like, And then I came up, then I was like, well, they definitely need clothes. So, and this particular type of clothing is very popular in the UK. And that's how I decided on it.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a fantastic way to kind of spark the idea of something that is never going to go out of style. So how does this particular business make money? Is it 100% drop shipping, or is there, what percentage of it is drop shipping versus e-commerce?
It's almost 100%, but since sometimes you'll get returns, sometimes people just won't like it for some reason, or they might have ordered the wrong size or something. So then they have to send it back to one of our local warehouses, either in the States or in the UK. And then when we sell it back to a new customer, then it technically becomes e-commerce, but otherwise the rest is drop shipping.
Oh, great. And so why did you choose drop shipping and e-commerce instead of something like, software or maybe Amazon Associates? What drew you to, drop shipping?
Well, when I just saw the products, I was like, well, this seems like a better idea than, what did you mention, Amazon? Then there's a big buy-in at the start. Would you have to purchase a lot of material to start with, or software? I don't have any proper education. I don't know about software. So yeah, dropshipping just seemed like the right business model for me.
That's great. And did you take any courses to learn more about dropshipping, or was it something you just kind of figured out?
Oh no, I did. First I watched all the free videos, like Franklin Hatchett, Till Bordella, and then afterwards I bought Till Bordella's course. He more focuses on small ticket dropshipping, small stuff, and this item, of course, isn't. But I watched a ton of free stuff and I Till's course as well. And then the business kind of unfolded. I did take more courses, but that wasn't necessarily dropshipping. That was Facebook ads and self-development courses, how to manage your time and stuff like that. I have done a lot of courses to get where I am today.
Yeah, that's great to see that there's so many courses. Good to see that you're able to find some ones that you're able to get a lot of value out of and apply it to your business. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, you've built up, a very profitable business. What is the reason you're looking to sell it?
Well, I am looking to do something that is not this business. I've kind of gotten used to the customers, the niche, and it's just, I'm looking for some more challenges. My friend wants to start this motorbike traveling company in Asia, and there's going to be some time where I'm not online. And it just seems it'd be nice to move into a new niche, and traveling on the motorbike through the Himalayas and being online at the same time isn't quite compatible.
Yeah, it sounds like an awesome business venture and something that it would definitely be hard to juggle both of them at the same time.
They are possible. It is possible to get like 3G on my phone and then like stream it, what's it called, hotspot it to my computer. But it's also just a change of niche.
Right. Yeah, it's good to focus on, one major thing at a time.
Right? Yeah.
So as far as the business history, is there anything you learned from this business that you would apply to maybe a future business? What did you learn from this one business that worked really well?
Oh my God, everything. I wouldn't say that you learn so much by the things that work well. You more learn from the things that didn't go so well. So there has been so much trial and error. Like when you're first starting out and you create your first Shopify store, and then you have to start writing emails and you have to start making Facebook ads and like call out people's pain points and solve them and give discounts, and like there's just like an endless amount of things that I've learned from this business that, yes, I'm applying in every other venture that I do. But you want to know something that has worked very well? Was that your question?
Yeah, maybe like the one thing that really kind of, really worked well for this business.
That is call out their pain, but it's not so painful. Like my company really focuses a lot on helping guys. Our tagline is like, become the gentleman you were born to be. So like kind of like make them feel good about themselves and like give them that confidence. And our product kind of like helps them step into that. And I think a lot of men we don't feel great about ourselves and we're not allowed to talk about it. So it's been really a treat for me to help provide something where they're like, hey, I can wear this and I can feel gentlemanly. And that's something that's really worked well. When you kind of hit that tone or that note with your customer where they're like, this makes me feel good. Yeah, that's something that's worked very well.
Yeah, it's always good to focus on, kind of the benefits of the product and not the actual product. So yeah, I think that's great to see that you've kind of built your brand around that. And it's got to be very rewarding to help, boost people's confidence and, building a brand that really actually helps people. That's really, really great. And so you mentioned a lot of things that didn't work. Maybe one thing, what was your biggest thing that didn't work that kind of taught you a great lesson?
Well, the biggest thing that didn't work was in months like we're talking years ago, like 2017, the month of June, or maybe it was July. I was like, well, Facebook ads, man, what? I can just reach people all around the world. And like, if I put in $500, then I get like $1,000 back, right? I'm putting in $10,000. And I lost so much money because when you scale on Facebook, you have to do it slowly or you have to do it in a specific way. You can't just say, hey, look, buy my product. And the start, I definitely don't know what it's called, overbetted or like overspent on Facebook. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, with Facebook advertising, once you start getting up to that higher level, you can, a few days can really burn through a lot of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, that's probably, one of the biggest ways you're driving traffic currently right now is through Facebook advertising.
Yeah, definitely. Because like Google AdWords a little bit, but this is a product where people kind of like, they might not know that they need it, but when they're scrolling along, minding their own business, it's usually like 5 p.m. when they're home from work and they're watching TV and they've got their second device up and then they scroll and they're like, wait a second, I didn't know I needed it, but this is what I need now. Or this sounds really interesting.
Wow.
And so that's kind of how people discover my brand. That is something people search also, but Facebook ads has been a game changer for this industry.
That's great. And, as far as marketing outside of Facebook, what other type of marketing tactics are you using to generate sales?
Personally, I love Instagram. Like I use Instagram a lot more myself. The demographic of my customers is from my age. I'm 33, a little bit younger, like 25 and then upwards. I would say the bulk of them are like 35 to 55. And they are not on Instagram, sadly. Otherwise, I have a stellar Instagram account with all reviews and model pictures. And I hired a guy called Steve who just went in and liked and unliked all these accounts for a couple of months. So that's why we got 45,000 Instagram subscribers, or what's it called, followers. But it doesn't really work in the same way Facebook does, sadly. Facebook is the main thing. Like Instagram it does lend some social proof because people like Google the brand or like they search on their phone and then they find this Instagram account, which is like looks legit. That does help. But no, Facebook's the main thing.
Yeah, and I'm sure being able to get some product photos from customers who've posted to Instagram and stuff, that's got to be very valuable.
Yes, but our base isn't checking Instagram. Like we get tons of people adding us on Instagram. Like we got the soup. We also have like tons of photo reviews on the website. So we've got all that stuff, but people aren't really like our demographic isn't checking Instagram.
Right. So most of them you found out are hanging out on Facebook.
They're hanging out on Facebook because people need Facebook to get in touch with their friends and coworkers and go to events and stuff like that, right? So they're on Facebook anyway.
Yeah, I think Instagram's still an emerging market, so it'll be interesting to see if how it will develop over time. If more of that demographic will join, or maybe it'll even be a new platform.
I think so. Yeah, who knows? But I've definitely seen it with some of these other businesses, like this motorcycle adventure thing. That's all Instagram, man. Because like all the young people that are going on holidays, that's all Instagram. But the clothing business, yeah, definitely Facebook.
Great. And, we're talking a bit about, some of the social media aspect. What other opportunities do you see that a new buyer could buy this business and sort of grow it?
Well, something I haven't really had like at the start, I didn't have the guts. And now I don't really want to spend the time, but one could buy bulk and keep it in a storage facility, like a fulfillment facility in the States or in the UK. Because now it's like, well, having just as many customers in the US, it's like 50-50. So one could buy bulk and then save a lot of money because dropshipping, like the prices are higher because you're getting one at a time.
Right.
But since it's been working, I haven't really wanted to tamper with it. But a lot of other people I've spoken to, not a lot of other people, like one other person I spoke to who's like a really big shot in the clothing industry was like, how are you dropshipping? Like start like buying bulk right away. That'll like increase your profit margins. Like that's the best thing to do. But I just haven't taken that. I don't want to work full time on it and have like, I didn't want to have a big payment up front. So I have never explored that possibility. I have explored it. I have asked suppliers how much it would cost and stuff, but I haven't pulled the trigger on that.
Right. So you're suggesting that somebody could buy your products in bulk, send it to a fulfillment center, and then whenever that they make an order, it would probably increase the shipping time by a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And, save on your bottom line.
Yeah, I believe even it could be done by Amazon. Like I'm not such a big, I don't really know that much about Amazon, but people have told me that this could easily be done on Amazon as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think there could be a lot of opportunities to grow the business. So as far as, on the other side, what other risk for a buyer to potentially take over this business? Is there anything that a buyer should be aware of?
A buyer should be aware of, because I've worked with some marketing teams before, but they've never been able to replicate what I've done myself. And I think that's because, when it's your baby or when you know your customers, like what are their pain points, call that out, tell them you're going to help them and stuff like that. And also you check them, right? Like, so like once or twice a week or like once or twice a day, I'll just quickly check, like how are the ads performing? Oh, that one's not performing. Turn that off, right? So what happened with these marketing agencies is once they get a guy in, like they start scaling it and then they're like, oh, that's great. And then they don't pay attention because they're trying to get new clients in the door. So not checking your Facebook stats, that's dangerous.
Yeah. And especially at, this volume, like you mentioned, you can, even a few days could be very drastic if you aren't monitoring it.
Yeah. So yeah, like if there's something one should watch out for, that's like overspending on Facebook.
Right. And so you mentioned you're checking the Facebook ads, maybe a couple times a day. Could you describe some of the other work that a new buyer would need to do?
Well, I have 2 staff members, right? So they do all the customer service and anything else I ask them to do. But like the decisions, like for example, like we just changed like some of the photos around. I'm like, yeah, no, not that one. Like use this other one. So these kind of like executive decisions are things that kind of need to be done. I usually take like an hour a day where I don't have Skype notifications set up normally because that will drive you crazy. So I just open it up 1 hour a day and then I deal with all the things that they need me to answer.
Right. Yeah, that's great to see. And as far as that, do you have to do anything are they handling all the customer service and any returns?
I have not spoken to a customer in 2 years.
That's great to see.
I worked in customer service when I was young, man. I'm never going back. I hired my first VA, like after the first sale. I was like, help, like I need a VA. I went to Upwork right away and got a VA.
That's great. And would your VAs be interested in working for the new buyer? Have you discussed that with them?
They are super keen to work with a new buyer,
okay.
A new owner.
That's great to hear.
They are really happy for their jobs. And sometimes so much so that like they're a little bit gung-ho. I'm like, okay, no, like, we're going to go with my ideas. Those are great ideas, but we can't use those.
Right. And so as far as the skills required to run the new business, what would you say is like the most important? Obviously, being familiar with Facebook advertisement, would you say that's the number one skill that's required to run the business?
That is the number one skill. If you can translate that skill into like being really good at hiring people to do your own Facebook ads, that could also work. But I don't have that skill. I learned Facebook ads by doing a course with Jabril and John Pemberthy like a couple of years ago. And that is basically all. And then like experience as well. One needs to either be able to be good at hiring or know the basics yourself and how to catch people's attention on Facebook. Simply saying, here, this is a great product, buy it, isn't going to cut it. So either need to know something about Facebook ads or hire someone that does.
Right. And like you'd mentioned, you'd worked with a few marketing agencies, but you found that you were able to produce the best results.
Yeah, I find that the ones, maybe I've been unlucky, right? But the ones that I've hired have been like really gung-ho in the start and then kind of like trailed off and not kind of delivered on what they promised. So yeah.
Right. That's great. Yeah, that's good to see that, you're able to kind of figure out your strategy. And, obviously when you're going to be working with a new buyer, would you be willing to kind of showcase them your strategy on Facebook and, how that works and how they can grow the business over time?
Yeah, definitely. And actually, the best performing ads are like actually evergreen ads. Like they've been running since September, October last year. So like these ones are great. Sometimes they like underperform a little bit and I just duplicate them and change the price a little bit and it's fine. Like the things that I've had working for a long time still work. And would I showcase it? Yes, I would. And I actually have a recording ready to go because I've promised to teach my staff how I do Facebook ads, not because they're going to do my Facebook ads, but they are interested in learning just for themselves. So I actually already have the recording.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Any recording materials are great to have, when transferring your business. So the more the merrier in that aspect. And as far as support, how much other support are you willing to offer for a buyer?
I think on the listing, we agreed a month and like email, Skype support. Yeah.
Perfect. And are you willing to commit to a non-compete for this business?
What's a non-compete?
Basically, you'll guarantee that you won't start in the same niche.
Oh, yeah, totally. That wouldn't be fair.
Right. And just the last few questions here. Are you open to negotiating something like an earnout where maybe the buyer would provide 80% of the cash up front and then, 20% over time?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Okay, great. And is there anything else that I missed that you would like to share?
I was about to say something before as well. The training I did for my staff as well also shows our migration from, not complete migration, but migration from Shopify to ClickFunnels. That's a big game changer as well because even since I got started in 2017, people's attention span has lessened a lot. So when we do deals from now on, we always send them to a ClickFunnels link. So a knowledge or skills or a willingness to learn ClickFunnels is also really an important part of the puzzle.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
Like structuring the deals and giving people like, this is a chance to get this great deal and not letting them get away so easily where they can click around on like all kinds of different things on the website.
Right. So primarily, once you've collected their email address, you're sending them through ClickFunnels and giving them some special offers.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's email marketing is very powerful. So it's great to see that you're utilizing that.
Yeah. If you look at the P&L, you'll see that around May 2018, that's when things really started looking a lot better.
And did you make some adjustments? Is that when you got ClickFunnels?
The one thing I did, that ClickFunnels started then as well, but the one thing that I did differently was I started writing a weekly email.
Oh, wow.
And it started with, that was a royal wedding in May 2018. And I wrote like a royal wedding kind of email. And it was crazy. And then since then, like the weekly email, and sometimes I don't do it because I'm just like, I can't be bothered or I'm doing something else. So I miss the weekly email. And that's a big chunk of money you lose. I've had other people write it for me as well. But I find it works better if the owner himself is writing it and, writes it in a funny way, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's great to see that there's a lot of opportunities there in emails. So right now, is there any automated emails being sent out or is it just the weekly ones?
Do you cut out there for a second? What, weekly email or what else?
So in addition to the weekly email, do you have any automation emails set up?
Sure. As soon as someone signs up for email, to get a stream of emails sent out via ActiveCampaign.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're able to send out those and then some special offers through ClickFunnels.
Yeah, but usually when someone signs up, then they kind of get a couple of emails where it's like, welcome to the club, and this is like your intro offer. And then like 7 days later, if they haven't bought yet, then they get like another offer, and then they just go to the regular list if they haven't bought, or even if they have bought, and they get like new styles, new deals, holiday deals, that kind of thing.
That sounds like you have a really good funnel set up, and I think, a new buyer could kind of step in there and just run with a really strong foundation.
Yeah, definitely.
Great, Martin. Well, thanks so much for talking to me about your business, and I really appreciate your time.
Well, thanks for having me, Mike.
Take care, Martin. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye.